Have you ever felt like life is moving a little faster than you'd like, and you're not quite sure how to keep up? Or maybe you've noticed that some things you used to hold onto so tightly don't seem to matter as much as they once did. If you're in your 70s or 80s, you've lived through so much, decades of experiences, challenges, and joys. But as we age, it's natural to start thinking about what truly matters and what might be weighing us down. That's what we're going to talk about today, letting go of the things that no longer serve us so we can make room for more happiness, peace, and fulfillment. Now, I know what you might be thinking, letting go? That sounds easier said than done. And you're absolutely right. Letting go can be hard, especially when we've spent years, maybe even a lifetime, holding on to certain habits, beliefs, or even possessions. But here's the thing, letting go isn't about losing something. It's about gaining freedom. Freedom to enjoy the present moment, freedom to focus on what truly brings us joy, and freedom to live a life that feels lighter and more meaningful. So, in this video, we're going to explore 10 things you should consider letting go of if you're in your 70s or 80s. These are things that might be holding you back from living your happiest, most fulfilling life. And don't worry, this isn't about giving up or losing anything valuable. It's about making space for the things that truly matter. Let's start with the first one. Letting go of the need to control everything. As we get older, it's easy to fall into the habit of wanting to control every little detail of our lives. Maybe it's because we've spent decades being responsible for so much, raising families, managing careers, or taking care of loved ones. But here's the truth, life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we try to control it, there will always be things that are out of our hands. And that's okay. Think about it for a moment. How much energy do you spend worrying about things you can't change? Maybe it's the weather, or what someone else is doing, or even how your grandchildren are living their lives. When we try to control everything, we end up feeling stressed, frustrated, and exhausted. But when we let go of that need to control, we open ourselves up to a sense of peace and acceptance. Now, I'm not saying you should stop caring or stop being involved in the lives of the people you love. What I'm saying is that it's okay to step back a little. Trust that the people around you are capable of making their own decisions. Trust that life has a way of working itself out. And most importantly, trust yourself. You've lived through so much already. You've got the wisdom and resilience to handle whatever comes your way. So, how can you start letting go of the need to control? It might be as simple as taking a deep breath and reminding yourself that it's okay not to have all the answers. Or maybe it's about focusing on the things you can control, like your own thoughts, actions, and reactions. When you let go of the need to control everything, you'll find that life feels a little lighter, a little easier, and a lot more enjoyable. Letting go of regrets. Now, let's talk about something that many of us carry with us, often without even realizing it, regrets. Whether it's something we said, something we didn't do, or a decision we made years ago, regrets can weigh heavily on our hearts. But here's the thing, holding on to regrets doesn't change the past. It only keeps us stuck in it. Think about it this way, every decision you've made, every path you've taken, has brought you to where you are today. And where you are today is a place of wisdom, experience, and strength. Sure, there might be things you wish you'd done differently, but those experiences have shaped who you are. They've taught you valuable lessons and helped you grow. So, how can you start letting go of regrets? One way is to practice self-compassion. Remind yourself that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. Another way is to focus on the present moment. Instead of dwelling on what you can't change, think about what you can do today to make your life better. Maybe it's reaching out to someone you've lost touch with, or finally pursuing that hobby you've always been curious about. Letting go of regrets doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means making peace with it, so you can move forward with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. And when you do that, you'll find that there's so much joy and possibility waiting for you in the present moment. Letting go of unrealistic expectations. As we age, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others or holding ourselves to unrealistic standards. Maybe you feel like you should be more active, more social, or more productive. Or maybe you're frustrated because your body doesn't move the way it used to, or your memory isn't as sharp as it once was. But here's the thing, those expectations? They're not serving you. Let's be honest, getting older comes with its own set of challenges. And that's okay. It's a natural part of life. But when we hold ourselves to unrealistic expectations, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration. Instead of focusing on what you think you should be doing, try focusing on what feels good and right for you. For example, if you've always been someone who loves to stay busy, that's great. But if you're feeling tired or overwhelmed, it's okay to slow down a little. Maybe instead of trying to do everything, you can focus on the things that bring you the most joy. Or if you're feeling frustrated because you can't do something the way you used to, try approaching it from a different angle. Maybe there's a new way to enjoy that activity, or maybe it's time to explore something new altogether. The key is to be kind to yourself. You've earned the right to live life on your own terms, without worrying about what anyone else thinks. When you let go of unrealistic expectations, you'll find that life becomes a lot more enjoyable and a lot less stressful. Now that we've talked about letting go of the need to control, regrets, and unrealistic expectations, let's move on to the next thing you might consider releasing from your life. Because the more we let go of what no longer serves us, the more space we create for happiness, peace, and joy. And isn't that what we all want, especially as we enter this beautiful stage of life? Letting go of negative relationships. As we move through life, we build relationships with all kinds of people: family, friends, neighbors, and colleagues. Some of these relationships bring us joy, support, and a sense of connection. But others, well, they might not be so positive. And if you're in your 70s or 80s, you've probably realized that life is too short to spend time with people who drain your energy or make you feel bad about yourself. Negative relationships can take many forms. Maybe it's a friend who always seems to criticize or judge you, or a family member who brings drama and stress into your life, or even someone who constantly expects you to give, without ever giving anything back. These kinds of relationships can weigh heavily on your heart and mind, and they can keep you from living the happy, peaceful life you deserve. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but these are people I've known for years. How can I just let them go? And that's a fair question. Letting go of a relationship doesn't always mean cutting someone out of your life completely. Sometimes, it's about setting boundaries, deciding what you will and won't tolerate, and sticking to those boundaries. Other times, it might mean stepping back a little, so you're not as involved in the drama or negativity. The important thing is to prioritize your own well-being. You deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, who make you feel good about yourself, and who genuinely care about your happiness. And if there are people in your life who don't fit that description, it's okay to let them go, or at least, to create some distance. Letting go of negative relationships can be hard, especially if you've known someone for a long time. But when you do, you'll find that you have more energy, more peace, and more room for the people who truly matter. And that's a gift worth giving yourself. Letting go of clutter. Now, let's talk about something that might seem a little less emotional, but can still have a big impact on your happiness: clutter. Over the years, it's easy to accumulate stuff, lots and lots of stuff. Maybe it's clothes you haven't worn in years, or old paperwork you've been holding onto just in case. Or maybe it's sentimental items that you feel like you should keep, even though they don't bring you joy anymore. But here's the thing, clutter isn't just physical. It can also be mental and emotional. When our homes are filled with things we don't need or use, it can create a sense of chaos and overwhelm. And when our minds are filled with thoughts about all that stuff, it can be hard to focus on the things that truly matter. So, how can you start letting go of clutter? One approach is to take it step by step. You don't have to tackle everything at once. Maybe you start with one drawer, or one closet, or one room. As you go through your belongings, ask yourself, does this bring me joy? Do I use it? Does it serve a purpose in my life? If the answer is no, it might be time to let it go. And when it comes to sentimental items, it's okay to be selective. You don't have to keep everything to honor the memories. Maybe you can take a photo of the item, or pass it on to someone who will appreciate it. The goal isn't to get rid of everything, it's to create a space that feels calm, organized, and full of the things that truly matter to you. Letting go of clutter can be incredibly freeing. It's like clearing out the old to make room for the new. And when your home is filled with only the things you love and need, you'll find that it's easier to relax, to focus, and to enjoy the present moment. Letting go of fear of change. Change is a natural part of life, but that doesn't mean it's always easy. As we get older, it's common to feel a little resistant to change, whether it's trying something new, moving to a new place, or even just adjusting to the changes that come with aging. But here's the thing, when we hold on to a fear of change, we limit ourselves. We miss out on opportunities to grow, to learn, and to experience new things. Think about it for a moment. What's something you've been hesitant to try, or something you've been putting off because it feels unfamiliar or uncomfortable? Maybe it's learning how to use a new piece of technology, or joining a new social group, or even just changing up your daily routine. Whatever it is, I want to encourage you to take a step forward. Change doesn't have to be scary. In fact, it can be exciting. It's a chance to discover new interests, to meet new people, and to see the world in a different way. And even if the change feels difficult at first, remember that you've faced challenges before, and you've come out stronger on the other side. So, how can you start letting go of the fear of change? One way is to take small steps. You don't have to dive in head first. Maybe you start by trying something new in a low-pressure way, like taking a class or joining a group where you can meet people who share your interests. Or maybe you simply remind yourself that it's okay to feel a little uncomfortable at first. Change is a process, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. When you let go of the fear of change, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You might discover a new passion, or make a new friend, or simply find a new way to enjoy life. And isn't that what it's all about? Embracing the journey, no matter where it takes you. Now that we've covered letting go of negative relationships, clutter, and the fear of change, you might be starting to see a pattern here. Letting go isn't about losing something. It's about gaining freedom, peace, and joy. And as we continue, we'll explore even more things you can release to make room for a happier, more fulfilling life. Because at this stage of life, you deserve nothing less. Letting go of the need to please everyone. As we grow older, it's natural to reflect on the relationships we've built and the roles we've played in the lives of others. For many of us, that includes a lifelong habit of trying to please everyone around us, whether it's family, friends, or even strangers. We want to be liked, to be helpful, to avoid conflict. But here's the truth, trying to please everyone is exhausting, and it's impossible. No matter how hard you try, you can't make everyone happy all the time. And that's okay. Think about it. How much of your energy goes into worrying about what other people think? How often do you say yes to something when you really want to say no, just because you don't want to disappoint someone? When we focus too much on pleasing others, we end up neglecting our own needs and desires. And over time, that can lead to resentment, frustration, and even burnout. So, how can you start letting go of the need to please everyone? It begins with recognizing that your worth isn't tied to how much you do for others. You are valuable just as you are, and you deserve to live a life that feels authentic and fulfilling to *you star. That might mean saying no sometimes, or setting boundaries, or simply allowing yourself to prioritize your own well-being. It's not about being selfish, it's about being self-aware. When you take care of yourself, you're better able to show up for the people you love in a genuine and meaningful way. And when you let go of the need to please everyone, you'll find that your relationships become more honest, more balanced, and more rewarding. Letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is something many of us struggle with, no matter our age. We want to do everything just right, to meet high standards, to avoid making mistakes. But here's the thing, perfection is an illusion. No one is perfect, and no one expects you to be. And when we hold ourselves to impossible standards, we set ourselves up for disappointment and stress. As we get older, it's especially important to let go of perfectionism. Life is messy, and that's part of what makes it beautiful. Maybe you've noticed that your body doesn't move the way it used to, or that your memory isn't as sharp as it once was. Maybe you're not as fast or as precise as you used to be. And that's okay. Those changes don't diminish your worth or your abilities. They are just part of the journey. So, how can you start letting go of perfectionism? One way is to practice self-compassion. Remind yourself that it's okay to make mistakes, to be imperfect, to be human. Another way is to focus on progress, not perfection. Instead of aiming for flawless, aim for good enough. Celebrate the small victories, the effort you put in, and the joy you find along the way. When you let go of perfectionism, you give yourself permission to enjoy life as it is, messy, imperfect, and full of surprises. And when you do, you'll find that life becomes a lot more fun and a lot less stressful. Letting go of grudges. Holding on to grudges is like carrying a heavy weight on your shoulders. It takes up space in your heart and mind, and it keeps you stuck in the past. Maybe there's someone who hurt you years ago, or a situation that still feels unresolved. Whatever it is, holding on to that anger or resentment doesn't change what happened. It only keeps you from moving forward. Letting go of grudges doesn't mean forgetting or excusing what happened. It means choosing to release the hold that those negative feelings have on you. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of anger and bitterness, so you can focus on the present and the future. So, how can you start letting go of grudges? One way is to practice forgiveness, not for the other person, but for yourself. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a way to let go of the pain and find peace. Another way is to shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, try to focus on what you've learned or how you've grown from the experience. When you let go of grudges, you open yourself up to a sense of freedom and lightness. You'll find that your relationships improve, your mood lifts, and your heart feels more open. And when that happens, you'll have more room for joy, love, and connection. Letting go of the fear of aging. Let's be honest, aging can be scary. It comes with changes, physical, mental, and emotional, that can feel overwhelming at times. But here's the thing, aging is also a gift. It's a sign that you've lived a long and meaningful life, and that you've gained wisdom, experience, and resilience along the way. When we hold on to a fear of aging, we miss out on the beauty and opportunities that come with this stage of life. We focus on what we're losing instead of what we're gaining. But when we let go of that fear, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. So, how can you start letting go of the fear of aging? One way is to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing aging as a decline, try to see it as an opportunity, a chance to explore new interests, to deepen your relationships, and to live life on your own terms. Another way is to take care of yourself, both physically and emotionally. When you feel good in your body and mind, it's easier to embrace the changes that come with aging. When you let go of the fear of aging, you'll find that life becomes more vibrant and fulfilling. You'll have the freedom to enjoy the present moment, to cherish the people you love, and to make the most of every day. And isn't that what it's all about? Now that we've covered letting go of the need to please everyone, perfectionism, grudges, and the fear of aging, you're well on your way to creating a happier, more fulfilling life. These changes might not happen overnight, but every small step you take brings you closer to the peace and joy you deserve.